All right, so earlier in the slide presentations, I gave you guys a little preview of the image snapshot capabilities of the Rackspace Cloud. So what images allow you to do is to kind of take a point-in-time snapshot of your server and save it as a backup. So this is a fantastic way to do backups, and in fact with Rackspace you can even automate this process. But it's also a nice way to create base server images and then save them to recall later. So for example, last week we spent a little bit of time getting our server set up. We used apt-get to update all the software and the repositories, and then we installed Apache. That's pretty much going to be the base server image that we're going to use throughout the class. So if you think you're going to spin your server down, and you may want to after your server has been graded to save a little bit of money, you can take a snapshot of it and then spin that server back up later on when you need the server again. So let me show you what I mean. So this is the Rackspace control panel, and if we go into our Hello World server, and if you remember from last week, this is the server that I created for our Apache demo. So if we come down here, and you can see in the images area we don't have any images. If we go create image, and we'll call this Hello World Apache, and then click create image, and then you'll see down here creating image for Hello World. Server images will appear in the images list after they have been created. So it's in the process of building that right now, and when it's finished we'll have an image here that we can create a new server from. Okay, now that our server image is created, you can see down here that Rackspace shows view one image. So if we click on that, you can actually see the image we created, and then you'll have a little drop down here about what you can do with it. You can either delete the image or you can create server with image. So if you create server with image, we can call this hello clone, and then select this Hello World Apache, come down here and select our size, and then click create server. And what will happen is Rackspace will use that image we just created and it will build a new server based on that. So right now what we're doing is we're building up a whole new clone that will be an exact replica of that server we just created. So this is a great way to store backups, and also a great way to, like I said before, keep dry and do not repeat yourself by not having to go through and create a new server from scratch, install Apache, update the software, all of that stuff. It's good to have a base image ready to go. So use this feature. You do have to pay for the stored image. It's very, very inexpensive. You can look up the storage rates on Rackspace, but in most circumstances it's probably cheaper than continuously keeping your server running. So it's something to think about, and it's also a really great way to make sure that your classwork is backed up, because anything can happen. Servers can and will go down. That should always be the assumption, is that your server's not going to stay up forever. Eventually there will be a problem. Sometimes that could be in a week, sometimes that could be in 5 years, but you always want to be ready for something like that, and having backups and images is a great way to prevent lots of headaches down the road. So that is Rackspace imaging, and I hope you guys take advantage of it in this class.